Good morning. My name is Ryan Gilkerson, lead creative here at Company 119, and this is the Coffee Cup. Today we're going to talk about marketing to a generation that has pretty short attention spans. Why is that wall so red? That wall, I'm sorry, I get easily distracted. So does everybody else, right? It happens all the time. What we've learned, or what we've been taught to know, is that attention spans are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And there might be some truth to that. However, in a recent survey from a company in the UK, we find out that it might not be that our attention spans are just getting shorter. They might be getting more selective. So virtual assistant John, if you could bring up our slideshow from Prezi. Just kind of scroll through it a little bit. This is a really cool slideshow called State of Attention 2018. I really like the way they've got it laid out. It's a really cool looking report, really easy to read visually. But to sum up some of the things that they're saying here, it's not that we're getting shorter attention spans. It's that sometimes marketers just need to do a better job of capturing our attention and they will get more out of it. So they surveyed 2,000 people roughly. Most of them Gen Xers, but some millennials and then some baby boomers. Gen Xers were the bulk of that population. And Gen X, remember, is 35 to 54, and then millennials are the 18 to 34 demographics. So both of the target demographics for most marketing campaigns, that's basically who they got here. Interestingly enough, about 343 of those professionals came from IT, which is interesting, and about 269 of the professionals were from sales and marketing. But they just wanted to talk to professionals a little bit about their attention span. What keeps their attention? What makes them pay attention? 6 out of 10 professionals said that they can give a piece of content their undivided attention without getting distracted. And that's more than just a year ago when this survey was done. It's actually about 50% more. So people are feeling more confident about being able to pay attention to content. However, 42% of those people admit that they become more selective about the content they consume. So yes, they're able to give it better attention, but if the content doesn't look interesting, they're not going to pay attention. And then 66% say that they let content find them rather than seeking it out. So again, if the content is good, it's going to come to them. And if it's good, they'll be able to stay on task longer. Interestingly enough, these people, when they talk about that engaging content that they want to pay attention to, 34% of those people said that a great story captures their focus and keeps them engaged. So they want somebody to tell them a good narrative and they'll follow along all the way through. 29% of those people, about 30% of those people, said that a poor design will call them to shift their attention. We've done several coffee cups about things like landing page design and email design and how to lay it out so that it follows a good flow. That's so important that 30% of people will stop paying attention if you don't have good design content. When you talk about attention span, this is something we run into here at Company 119, just like any other company. About 86% of business professionals say they multitask during meetings. So if the content isn't good in your meeting, they're going to find something else to do with their time while you're talking. That's so frustrating, right? So even during meetings, even during your basic company meetings, it's important to have good content. People are saying that during meetings, 73% of respondents said the use of animated visuals keep an audience engaged better. So if you just have a boring slideshow and you're trying to present something, people might not pay attention. If you have something that's animated, all of a sudden, almost 3/4 of people find themselves paying more attention. And about half of respondents attribute disengagement from a presentation to a weak story or narrative. If you don't have something that's going to capture people, they are going to give their attention to something else. We're all competing across all these different channels for attention. It's not just digital marketing, it's even in those presentations that you go to. It's in seminars that you go to. If you put people to sleep, that's exactly what they're going to do. More often than not, they're not going to go to sleep. They're going to pull out their phone and find something they'd rather pay more attention to. So in summation, it's not that necessarily people are not paying attention. It's not that their attention span is dwindling. It's just that it's competitive to take that space that's in place. And if you give people something compelling, they're going to pay attention to you at a higher rate. So you have to tell the stories. You have to make it visually the visual presentation has to be immaculate, and it has to follow that story arc. People just don't want to watch a slideshow that has a bunch of numbers. They want to know how they impact. They want to be watching how the story grows, arcs, and settles across your presentation and across your digital content. So we thank you for tuning in today. I forgot to have my coffee cup. You just learn more about the attention span of your consumer before you finish your first cup of coffee than your competition will all day. Thanks for joining us.